a body shamed, the pain behind his busy excuse. The first 3 months with Jack felt like walking on sunshine. I'm Maya, and I'm 24 years old. Jack was 29, and from the moment we met through our mutual friend, David, there was an easy connection. We just clicked. He was charming, funny, and he had a way of looking at me that made me feel like the only person in the room. We talked a lot, about everything, our dreams, our pasts, and what we wanted for the future. We both said we were looking for a serious, long-term relationship. That was important to me. I wasn't interested in games or casual dating. I wanted something real, something that could last. And Jack, he seemed to want the same. Our dates were always thoughtful. We went to cute cafes, explored new parts of the city, and spent hours just talking. He was attentive, remembered little details I told him, and always made me feel like my feelings mattered. I started to really see a future with him. He felt like someone I could build something solid with, someone who truly cared. My friends, especially David and his girlfriend, Sarah, would tease me, saying how happy I looked whenever I was with him. I believed them. I was happy. Everything seemed to be going so well. Our last date was at my place. We decided to cook dinner together, which was always fun. We laughed in the kitchen, shared stories, and just enjoyed being in each other's company. After we ate, we settled onto the couch to watch a movie. The evening felt cozy and intimate, exactly what I imagined a comfortable, long-term relationship would be like. As the movie played, we started making out. It was sweet, then it got more passionate, as these things often do when you really like someone. His hands were moving over my body, a natural progression of our growing closeness. I felt a warmth spread through me, a sense of intimacy and connection. Then, suddenly, he stopped. Just like that. His hands paused, then gently moved away. He pulled back slightly, creating a small space between us on the couch. I opened my eyes, a little confused, and looked at him. He cleared his throat. "You know what?" he said, his voice a bit quiet. "I'm just really tired tonight. I think I'm going to head home." I blinked, trying to process it. My mind raced, trying to figure out what had just happened. One moment, we were wrapped up in each other, and the next, he was pulling away. But I nodded, trying to be understanding. "Oh, okay," I said, trying to sound casual, even though a little alarm bell was ringing in my head. "Yeah, it's been a long day for both of us, I guess." He gave me a quick, almost awkward, hug and left. I stood there in my living room, the quiet suddenly feeling very loud. Something was wrong. I could feel it deep down. It wasn't just that he stopped. It was how he stopped, the sudden shift, the quiet excuse. But I pushed the thought away. Maybe he really was tired. Maybe I was just overthinking it, as I sometimes do. I tried to tell myself not to worry. The next few days were a slow, painful fade. His texts became shorter. He used to text me good morning and good night every day, and now those stopped. His replies to my messages would take longer and longer. He went from being someone who was excited to chat all the time to someone who felt distant, almost cold. My anxiety started to build. I'd check my phone constantly, waiting for a message that never came, or one that was just a few words long. After a week of this, I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to know what was happening. I sent him a direct text. "Hey, is everything okay? You seem a little distant." His reply came quickly this time. "Yeah, let's have a phone call. I'll explain everything." My heart sank. That phrase, "I'll explain everything," always means bad news. I braced myself for the call. When he called, his voice sounded different, almost rehearsed. He started talking about his career, how he was suddenly super busy, how he couldn't give a relationship the attention it deserved right now. He said I deserved better than someone who couldn't be fully present, that it wasn't fair to me. He used all the standard lines. I listened, my mind reeling. I was shocked. Just a week ago, we were talking about a long-term future, and now he was breaking up with me over the phone, citing a sudden, mysterious career urgency. I felt awful. My chest ached. I wanted to cry, to scream, to ask him what had really changed. But I just managed a quiet, "Okay, I understand," even though I didn't understand at all. We hung up, and I felt like a rug had been pulled out from under me. I spent the next few days feeling completely lost, confused, and deeply hurt. Fast forward to yesterday. I met up with David and Sarah for a night out. We went to a bar, and we were all drinking, trying to have a good time. David is a great friend, and Sarah is lovely. As the night went on, and the drinks flowed, the conversation became more relaxed and open. Sarah, being a good friend, eventually asked me, "So, Maya, how are things going with Jack? I haven't heard you talk about him in a while." I took a sip of my drink. "Oh," I said, trying to sound casual, "we actually stopped talking. He decided he didn't want to continue dating." I saw David's face change. It was just a small flicker, but I noticed it. A sudden awkwardness, a slight widening of his eyes. He quickly looked away, taking a gulp of his own drink. "What's wrong?" I asked him, my voice a little slurred from the alcohol. We were pretty drunk at this point, all of us. David hesitated, then looked at Sarah, who was also looking a little uncomfortable. It was clear they knew something. My stomach tightened. "Come on, David," I pressed, feeling a sudden urge to know. "What is it?" He sighed, almost a groan. And then, it just slipped out. The words tumbled from his mouth, messy and unedited, blurred by the alcohol. He said, "He stopped talking to you because your boobs were too small. He said you weren't as sexy as he wanted." The world just stopped. I froze. My drink was halfway to my lips, and my hand just hung there. The music in the bar faded into a dull buzz. The laughter from nearby tables sounded distant, hollow. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. "My boobs are too small. I'm not sexy as he wants." Those words hit me like a physical punch. It wasn't about his career. It wasn't about me deserving better. It was about my body. A part of my body that I had never really thought about in terms of being too small or not sexy enough. My mind raced back to that night at my place. The sudden stop. The awkwardness. It all made horrible, sickening sense now. He hadn't been tired. He had just disliked what he felt. I didn't know how to react. My brain felt fuzzy and sharp at the same time. Disgust washed over me, disgust at Jack, disgust at the idea that someone could judge me so shallowly, disgust that David had been carrying this secret. Then came the deep, crushing disappointment. I had put so much hope, so much trust, into this person, and he had been so completely fake. Even though we were all drunk, his words were clear. They hung in the air, cold and cruel. My friends looked mortified, especially David, who kept mumbling apologies. But it was too late. The words were out. The ugly truth was out. I felt devastated. Utterly, completely devastated. It was one thing to be broken up with because someone's feelings changed, or because of life circumstances. But to be rejected because a part of your body isn't sexy enough for someone else? That felt like a violation. It felt like I was being told I was fundamentally flawed, not good enough, physically. Since that night, I've been having a really hard time. I look at myself in the mirror, and I can't help but stare at my chest. I never used to think about it. I was always comfortable in my skin. But now, it's all I see. Jack's words replay in my head, over and over, turning into a nasty whisper that tells me I'm not attractive, that I'm not enough. I know it's just one person's opinion. I know he's an awful person for saying that, and for hiding it. I know it reflects more on his shallow character than on my worth. My logical brain understands all of this. But my heart and my emotions, they are screaming. They are raw and wounded. How do I get over this? How do I stop this from becoming a deep, lasting insecurity? How do I look at myself in the mirror again without seeing myself through his cruel, judging eyes? I feel so ugly, so unwanted, just because of something so small. It feels like a part of my body, a part of me, has been marked as insufficient. And I don't know how to erase that mark.